Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back for your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're actually going to be talking about quite a bit of things happening. We're going to be addressing Ripple, XRP, Hedera HBAR, and so many other great assets. One thing that I think a lot of people overlook in this space is how everything is coming together. Going back to May of this year, I'm sure that you guys are aware of the big announcement with Ripple acquiring Medico. This was a big announcement. Now, during this time, we got a little bit of a glimpse into the institutional crypto side of things, specifically the custody market, which is expected to reach $10 trillion by 2030. Just the custody market around crypto. So let's actually put this into perspective. Custody services around crypto alone will account for $10 trillion by 2030. Tokenization volumes, 16 trillion. There's $26 trillion right there. Beyond this, think about how much more money will be tied to this industry by 2030. Over the next couple years, this entire space is going to blossom at an alarming rate. Now, why am I bringing up Medico, right? Well, because they are trying to become the institutional standard. They're becoming a key player around digital asset custody and digital asset services, and they are recognized as leaders within this. And beyond this, we just seen this announcement, which was from Archaea. Now, Archaea is an infrastructure as a service provider around Web3 for blockchain and DLT, and this is built upon Hedera. And we do see we're excited to welcome Medico as our latest architect. The enterprise technology company will leverage the Archaea suite to offer smooth and reliable service on Hedera and to enhance operations and develop new functionalities. Now, as we look more into this, we do see them talking about who Medico is, which we all know. And they're mainly focused here on digital asset agnostic custody, meaning this isn't just XRP, this is XRP, HBAR, QNT, any major token out there. It will be provided a platform for custody services, tokenization services, staking services, smart contract management, and so much more. Institutions are the focus here. They want to have reliable, secure, and efficient technology to make sure that they could earn the trust around this, right? Like, this is a big focus point. Now, beyond this, we do see we're looking forward to enabling Medico to collaborate with institutions that need to interact with the Hedera ecosystem. Whether it's custody of HBAR and other HTS tokens or managing staking and smart contracts, Archaea will be supporting underneath it all. Let's actually look at this. The wrap up under this entire thing, because I don't want to go in depth heavy on this because there's a lot to go over. All you really need to know is that this is API plug and play. This is the infrastructure for tomorrow's institutional side of things. And this is going to create a ton of demand for a lot of the players that are tied to it. And we do see Archaea was made by Hedera developers for Hedera developers to provide the smoothest developer experience on the network. Our goal is to allow projects to truly harness the incredible potential of Hedera and build reliable solutions that can handle the current demand, as well as the increased demand to come. As the value held on-chain increases, so does the need for secure custody of digital assets. To meet the uptime and reliability demands of institutions, custody solutions are looking to Archaea for enterprise-grade infrastructure and developer tooling. The Archaea team is looking forward to assisting Medico as they help institutions engage confidently with the on-chain economy. And one thing that I want to mention around this is why I say collaboration is the focus here, not competition. I see far too many people saying, oh, what do you think about HBAR versus XRP? Or what do you think about, QNT versus the link? And what do you think about this? It's like, I don't even care to engage in those conversations because, listen, at the end of the day, when we look at Hedera, when we look at Ripple, when we look at XRP, when we look at HBAR, like currencies, companies, things like that, all of them are truly embracing collaboration. Ripple is tapping into XRP for the speed of transactions, the settlement time, the liquidity provisions of it. Hedera is utilizing HBAR on the network. It powers the network of Hedera, different with XRP and Ripple. Ripple is not XRP. XRP is not Ripple. Ripple ties into XRP's power and the ledger behind it. But beyond that, like all of these companies, all of these tokens, they are going to have a major spotlight in this new world of Web3. Outside of this, when QNT comes into place, it really kind of paints the picture for everyone, right? Like QNT has a major place in this new system. Shout out to Tokenizer for this, but we do see the Casper and QNT overlaps are too strong to ignore. Casper and IBM / Hyperledger, X permission chain swaps. QNT, IBM, and Hyperledger equals SATP and TC307 agnostic swaps. Casper and Japan, IPv Japan plus Deloitte. QNT and Japan, patent approval. And of course, from the CTO at Casper Labs herself, the Casper Hyperledger Bridge meets most of the requirements SATP because it was designed and built in collaboration with IBM and Hyperledger. Outside of this, right, I keep telling you guys to pay attention to what Quant is. ISO TC307. This is what everyone should be looking at. If you are thinking about buying QNT and you're on the fence, research ISO TC307. Everyone is so heavily focused on ISO 20022, which again, for good measure, because it has a great deal behind it, right? We've talked about it. This is blockchain and DLT standards. This is the standardization that needs to be put in place around blockchain and DLT in order for it to be adopted and utilized. And guess who created this? That's right, the Quant team. And we already know that there's a lot of movement behind this. 44 participating members, 20 observing members, 5 ISO standards under development, and 11 published ISO standards. You could look at the entire structure behind this. You could actually see that this is tapping into DLT and carbon markets, digital currencies. I mean, there is so much here. You could even see security, privacy, and identity for blockchain and DLT, foundations, smart contracts and their applications, governance, use cases, interoperability, non-fungible tokens. Everything that you have been reading around blockchain and DLT and the adoption of it, this is the standard that needs to be put in place. And outside of this, we actually know from going all the way back to like 2019, 2020, this was written by SEQ, Crypto SEQ. This is where ISO TC307 comes into place, and why I actually think that it's far more bullish for crypto than ISO 20022. So we do see this quote. I see a potential similar to that of the internet in the early 90s. We're at the cusp of something big. Blockchain can change a lot of how the internet operates and a lot of how processes operate. We just don't know what we can do yet. And this was done by authoring the ISO proposal to standardize blockchain and then establish a technical committee. The proposal was approved in October of 2016, and the ISO TC307 committee quickly grew from 5 to 53 countries and bodies such as the European Commission. These countries are outlined in the map below, and if you guys do want to go check out this map, you guys are more than welcome to. It has been continuously growing day by day. It's very exciting to see this. And you could also see some of the large areas that are already participating within this. I'm sure that you guys probably recognize a few of these major names because guess what? They are the ones that are moving very quick on blockchain and DLT. Even the US is here as well. For those that are out there saying the US is falling greatly behind, they already have their plan of action in place. But beyond this, right? Like this is for blockchain as a whole, not just specifically interoperability. Within the structure, there are multiple working groups, each focusing on different areas. Gilbert Verdian is the chairman of, or for the ISO TC307 working group for interoperability of blockchain and DLT systems, which as you guys do see, here you guys have it, which we could also see that over here as well around interoperability. But beyond that, right, when we actually look at this standard, this is the standard that means the most around this space because this is going to allow blockchain and DLT to be tapped in for all of those major countries that are already working on ISO TC307 or participating within it. This is a big deal. And You could see some of the companies as well that are centered out on this. Some of these organizations, like I said, are very large organizations. You have IBM on here, you have Microsoft, you have HSBC, and there's so many other ones as well. And this is, again, from like 2019, 2020. So today you can actually see a lot more of the groups by just going to this link. And under here, you could read all of the major names tied to it. You could also see the committee members themselves, and also the other committees or committees under this as well. Again, all of this is heavily focused out on finance, healthcare services, agriculture, carbon credits, things like that. And guess what? This is everything that we have been talking about for a while regarding crypto and the adoption of crypto to really kind of alleviate the pain points around a lot of these industries, including, like I've said, healthcare, finance, agriculture, even carbon credits. So you need to heavily focus on ISO TC 307 when it comes to Quant, because they've created this standard, and this standard is going to be heavily adopted in globally, and it already is technically. And here we have from Gilbert Verdian himself back in December of 2022. There is more to blockchain interoperability than merely choosing the right technology. As Gilbert Verdian explains, it requires global collaboration. That's why we're working with ISO standards to create the blockchain standard, ISO TC 307. Again, listen closely to this video to really understand how significant this standard is.
What we set out to do was really shape where the industry should go. And we've taken a very collaborative global approach to this by shaping what the standards should be and establishing different types of standards at different levels within different international organizations. So they're all worked on collaboratively with the industry, and they're all agreed with all members and all participants of the industry. So it's not forcing standards on top of existing systems or vendors or technology. It's actually collaboratively coming up with what a standard has to be for the industry to adopt. So that's the work that we've done with ISO, with ISO TC 307, which is the blockchain ISO standard. The concept of that was to create something similar to the payment standards that we have, like 222. Separate to that, we've been collaborating on numerous levels in numerous governments and other organizations, but we've also started creating protocol standards within the IETF and with MIT.
So there you guys have it. And of course, he even does bring up 20022, right? Which is a major standard for the messaging side of things. Like all of this and all of these major standards, like we've talked about the electronic trade documents bill, these standards are crucial for this new world to really kind of be embraced. This new world is, digital assets, digital currencies, digital processes, digital networks. I mean, everything around us is changing. Paper-based processes are a thing of the past. AI, automation, machine learning, these are all things that are being embraced right now. And outside of this, we already know that ISO TC 307 is already being heavily adopted in some of these areas, and they're embracing the digital currency side of things. Using digital currencies to unlock a continent. Quant's blockchain technology is creating one big global trading network for entrepreneurs. And this was back in 2022, right? Like this is so crucial to mention because as we look at what Quant has done, the standards are crucial to note, right? But this to me is going to be the foundation for the future. Because when you look at Overledger, let's go actually look at this real quick. So shout out to Kevin Cage for this. This was back in 2022. This is talking about Hyperledger. Now, there's a repeat photo in here, so don't be alarmed by that. But the reason why I look at Hyperledger is because of all the names tied to it. We know that Casper has been working with Hyperledger to accelerate enterprise adoption of blockchain, but there's so many other great names tied to this as well. You have Quant on here, you have R3, you have Ripple, you even have Hedera. And this is where things get a little bit interesting as well. You have Filecoin on here as well. There's some great names. The reason why I bring up Hyperledger is because Hyperledger is tapped in through Quant's Overledger, meaning all of the names on here. So if, say for so Ripple wanted to utilize Hedera, they could technically through Overledger because it's tied through Hyperledger. Any blockchain technology tied to Hyperledger can be tapped in through Quant's platform. That's how crucial it is to mention this, because everything can be utilized at a click of a button. 3 lines of code. API plug and play. This is what Quant has solved. This is why Quant is a big player around this entire space. This is why collaboration is crucial, and this is why I say, like, a lot of these currencies, a lot of these projects that we are seeing, like Hedera and, you know, even XRP, like HBAR and XRP, there's no competition. There's none. They are both incredible assets. They're both great ledgers. When we look at this, you need to understand that specific tokens have specific use cases. A lot of people bring up like XLM versus XRP. XLM is P2P, retail payments. XRP, it has a ton of use cases on the ledger, but mainly it's being pioneered for B2B, major payments. This is why I've always said, when we even talk about like XDC is a perfect example of an industry collaboration coming together and building a network of networks to embrace digital currencies, digital technology, and ultimately bring trade finance into, you know, the digital age. That's what collaboration is. That's why collaboration is so crucial. And again, all of this is being harnessed. The potential of Hedera, the potential of XRP, the potential of Casper, all of it can be harnessed through Quant. Quant is the gateway, in my opinion, when I look at this. And remember, like ISO TC 307, this is far beyond interoperability. This is standardization of blockchain and DLT. We truly are on the cusp of something very, very big, just like we've seen in this article breakdown, because this is something much larger than the internet in the 90s, in my opinion, because this is going to disrupt every single aspect of life. And I know that it sounds crazy to say that, but it truly is a reality. That's why we are seeing, you know, predictions of $10 trillion worth of just custody services by 2030 around crypto, $16 trillion around tokenization services. I mean, think about how much money could be flowing through the space in the next 7 years. This should get you very excited about being in the space right now, especially being this early in the space as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and check the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.